Hi, Steve from Chorus Guitar, and today I'm going to be having a look at the Blackstar HT-1R MkIII combo amp. Now, this is a really small amp, it's super portable, it's really cool, it's really well made, it's lovely, and it's got an 8-inch speaker in it, and it's a 2-channel, 2-voiced combo. Now, when I say 2-channel, 2-voiced, what I mean to say is it's got switchable channels and it has 2 voices per channel. So you can have 4 different sounds. And obviously, when you change the EQ on it, you can get all sorts of sound out of it. It is really super versatile. Now, if we have a look at the top, what you can see is you've got the ISF. Just point to that. There you go. And the ISF stands for Infinite Shape Feature. Now, Infinite Shape Feature means if you turn it to the left, Blackstar say it sounds like an American amp. And if you go to the right, it sounds more like a British amp. Now, I think it just sounds brighter on the left, which is rather nice, and it sounds a little bit more warmer on the right. Okay, right, so if we have a look at the amp at the moment, it is set up as, with the LED off, as an American style clean amp. Okay, so let's have a quick listen to it. I'm going to play some open chords, nothing fancy or anything like that, and I'm just going to pop it into the 4th position, or the 2nd from the neck in, which a lot of people like to hear, and let's have a listen to that on its clean sound. Some open chords first. So a nice full sound really there. Okay. Okay, and let's have a listen to a little bit of lead. Okay, so that's the American sound, and that's with the LED off. Okay, I haven't got a lot of gain on this at the moment, but it can get quite gainy if you wish it to. Moving on to voice number 2, what we've got is what they call the British style, and this has a little bit more chime to it. Okay, I'm still going to use the same pickup on my guitar. Let's have a listen to a 7th chord here. You can hear that has got a bit more chime. Bit of blues. Some open chords. Pretty chimey. Right, okay, so let's check out the Overdrive channel. This is voice 1. And I'm going to use my single coil pickup on the front. Let's have a listen to some of the sounds. Let's have a little bit of blues to start off with. Okay, let's have a listen to some big chords. Little bit of soloing up on the E. In the key of E, that is. Okay, so that is what it sounds like with your single coil. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to flick myself onto the humbucker. Let's see what it sounds like now. A little bit of blues. Okay, so that is channel 1, voice 1 on the Overdrive. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, let's flick it over to channel 2. Okay, so let's have a listen to channel 2, voice 2. And this is a more, how can I say, more of a metal-y kind of sound. What I can do is I can move the ISF across a little bit if you wish to hear the sort of more British sound. But let's hear it to the left a little bit. So we've got that more American sound. So here it is on the single coils at the start. Okay, quite a bit of chime there. Not British chime, but you know, it's got a nice brightness to it. Okay, now I'm going to pop it onto the humbucker. Now what I'd do if I was playing some blues on the front pickup on my single, by the way, I'd probably turn my volume down. So let's have a listen to it like that. That sounds nice. Remember, we've got the ISF turned to the left slightly, so we've got a slightly American sound. Let's hear it with the volume turned down a little bit with the humbucker. Yeah, cool. So it's nice. Okay, so let's pop the ISF over to the right-hand side so we've got that more British sound. Front pickup, full volume. Wow, that's a big difference. That is a real big difference. Okay, let's have a listen to it with the volume turned down a little bit, probably about 7 on the dial. Good. Nice. Okay, so that's what it sounds like on the single coil. Let's have a listen to it on the humbucker on full volume. Nice. Let's hear it down the bottom, playing blues on full volume. Full volume on the guitar, that is. Let's turn that volume down. Responds really well. This is an ideal amp if you want to use it in the studio for recording, and you'll see why soon, because it has special hardware built into the amp called CabRig, and what it does is it gives you 3 cabinet emulations, and you can choose whatever you wish using the Architect software on your computer, which is super easy to use, and we're going to check that out in a moment. What we're going to do first though is we're going to have a listen to similar sounds but plugged into a audio workstation. So it's not mic'd up anymore. It's going to go straight into an audio workstation, and I'm just going to use the line out. You can use the USB-C on the amp if you wish to, but I'm just going to go old school line out into a audio interface, into a DAW, and I'm not going to change any sounds. I'm not going to EQ the amp or anything. What you hear is what you get. Okay? I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so this is the digital audio workstation part of the video. It means what you can do is you can plug the amp into your computer and use studio software, and the amp will emulate, it will pretend that it has different size guitar cabinets. Now you can have all sorts of different sizes, from 1x8 I do believe, or 1x10 up to modern 4x12s, and that's all done in the Architect software, and we're going to look at that in a mo. But inside the amp you've got what's called the CabRig, and that is hardware which actually allows you to store 3 cabinets within the HT1 and the other HT series as well. The HT amps all do this. Now if you look on here, what we've got is we've got a little switch that you can switch to different amps. Now it's set at the top one here, and that's a tuba. I'm just checking. That's a tuba 12 that we've got on there. And what I'm doing is I'm going to just go through the channels and the voices so you can hear what it sounds like. Okay, so here is your tuba 12, and this is on a single coil on the front, and I'm on the clean sound on sound number 1, voice 1, which is the American style. Okay, so that is voice number 1, and that is a 2x12 cabinet emulation. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I might as well just flick through the CabRig sounds. Here's a 4x12 cab. I think it's got 2 4x12 cabs in. Here's the first one. Okay, and I do believe the last one is what they call a thick 4x12. Okay, so that is voice number 1 on the clean sounds. Let's go to voice number 2. Okay, so here's voice number 2 with the 2x12 sound. Okay, on to CabRig number 2, which is the 4x12. And on to the final one, number 3. If you can hear any whistling going on, it's my strap locks on my guitar. Pardon that. Okay, so number 3, this should be a thick 4x12. Right, okay. What we're going to have a look at now is we're going to have a look at the first channel on the Overdrive. Let's check that out with the CabRig software. Right, okay, so this is the first channel on the Overdrive, and this is the 2x12, and I'm going to use my humbucker on the back. Let's have a little bit of rock. Here we go. Okay, on to the second CabRig, which should be a 4x12. Okay, so that's the second one. On to the third, which should have a slightly thicker sound to it, apparently. That's what it said on the software. Anyway, here we go. Right, so that is the Super Crunch channel. Let's go on to the more higher gain channel and probably slightly more focus for metal. Okay, so here is the second channel, which is a little bit more metal, maybe a little bit more focus, a bit more gain. I've left the gain where it was, but the channel is actually voiced to have more gain. Okay, so this should be the 2x12. I'm just having a quick peep. Yep, the 2x12, and this is what it sounds like. Okay, what we're going to do now is the 4x12, which is on the middle switch, number 2 on the CabRig switch. Let's have a listen to that. Okay, and thirdly, here we go. We've got the thick 4x12. That's what they call it on the software anyway. Thick 4x12. Okay, so that is the CabRig software. I'm going to turn that gain up a little bit so that you can hear it. Okay, let's pop that up a little bit more. This is with the gain at quarter past. This is what it sounds like. So that is the CabRig. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at the Architect software. Right, okay, so let's have a look at the software that you can download from Blackstar for free. It's called Architect software and it's for use with the CabRig. Now, as you can see on here, I'm just going to close that down a second. It shows you what amplifier we're using, what type of cab we're using or that's selected on the Blackstar at the time. And it also shows you the 3 cabs that you've got set in the memory on the Blackstar. So at the moment it's showing a modern 2x12. Right, so let's have a look at what the functionality is. I'd like to point out that what you can do also by clicking on this cog icon up here is you can adjust the reverb on your Blackstar amp, which is really useful. Of course, when I got mine, for review, I found that the reverb wasn't quite long enough, so I could adjust it via the software, which is brilliant. And then you can just save it. So it does a dark reverb or a light reverb, and you can adjust the decay length, the length of the reverb from here. So that's for the clean channel, and that is for your overdrive channel. So that there was very important to me to get the reverb sounding how I wanted it on the amp. Just go to the save settings and it just saves it straight to your amp via USB because you'll be plugged in from your amp to the computer, and it's as simple as that. Okay, so that's the reverb part. We have general selection here and about, which shows you the firmware as well. So that's all that's in there. This software is really easy to use, so it's great for people that, you know, don't like to use computers much, so it's ideal for them as well. So it's really cool. Okay, so here's a picture of the cabinet that we're using at the moment, which is a modern 2x12. And what we can do if we don't want to have that cabinet is we can click on this button here, and up comes a selection of cabinets that you can pick from a DI, a direct inject emulation, all the way down to a 4x12 modern UK cab down here. Dead easy. Next to that is the microphone button. Click on there and we've got dynamic mics, condenser mics and ribbon mics to choose from. The ribbon mics I find are very warm sounding. I use them quite a lot, and you can select whether you have them on axis, which is like a 45-degree angle off the cone of the speaker cabinet, or you can have it just straight on axis, so that would be pointing towards the speaker. So that's a great choice. That'll make a difference to the sound. Okay, next door to the cabinet one here is the room selection, which gives you reverb selections. There are lots of different ones there, and you can have it stereo, mono or wide. Okay, we looked at the master earlier, and I'm just going to go down a little bit further down this here. It shows the mute button so you can mute it, and a dB level so you can see what the volume is, I guess, the loudness. It shows you the value of it there. The same goes for the room. It shows you the level, how much you've got on there, and it gives you a solo and a mute button as well. And on the cab one, you've got the same there. So that's really the Architect software. You can save it all to your CabRig. You can put 3 selections in there. It's great for recording, and that's the Architect software. Right, okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to summarize the HT1, my pros, my cons, how I felt about it after having it for about a week. And I'd like to thank Modern Music in Truro for loaning me out this little HT1. I don't own it. I'm not paid for this video either. I just got it loaned. So after a week, what have I discovered? Well, for 1 watt, it's really loud, but you can turn it down. It's a huge tone in a small box, basically. As I said earlier, it's great for bedroom, apartment, studio work. It's brilliant. I mean, I've just messed about with a few of the settings on here just now, I'm sure there's lots and lots and lots of different tones and layers and stuff that you can get out of it. The reverb's really good. I adjusted it on the Architect software. When I first tried the amp, I found that the reverb just wasn't kind of long enough. The decay just wasn't long enough. So I adjusted the decay in the Architect software, and I think it sounds really nice. Okay, they're the pros. The cons are few, and this amp is about 349 in the UK. What I would like to see on it, if possible, would be an FX loop. Yeah, it hasn't got an FX loop on it. If you're using it in for studio work, yes, it has got a reverb, which is really super useful. But if you're using time-based effects, you could add them in, when you record onto your DAW. That'd be useful. Now, the 8-inch speaker in this unit, I mean, you can only, obviously, the cabinet's got to be so big, so you're not going to get anything too big in that cabinet. So an 8-inch speaker, yeah, it suffices. It sounds pretty good, but I put this through a 1x12 cab and it sounded awesome. So if you do have another cab around, pop it into that if you want to try that out, and it does sound absolutely brilliant. You're not going to get a lot of clean headroom out of this amp, but let's face it, it's only a 1-watt amp anyway, so that you're not going to anyway. I don't think there's many 1-watt amps out there that does give you a lot of headroom, to be honest with you. But you're not going to get a lot of headroom. If you're looking for headroom, 1 watt might not be what you're looking for. You might want to go for a HT5, which probably has more clean headroom. So they were my only cons. Not really a lot of cons, to be honest with you. There's a lot of pluses to be said about this amp. It's a really cool little amp, and it is really well built. I like it. It's very cool. Okay, so if you can like and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. I've been Steve Ball reviewing the Blackstar HT-1R Mark III, and it's absolutely wicked. I'll speak to you later. You take care now. Goodbye.